So you want a Hasselblad XPan, but the thing is too expensive. Why not go for a Hasselblad X1d or X1d Mark II like this one, that you can shoot in XPan mode? Welcome back to my channel, and this time for something special. I want to talk about panoramic photography and why I think you shouldn't go for a Hasselblad XPan, but instead, although it's a different experience, go for a Hasselblad X1d or X1d Mark II, which can do XPan mode and the same format or the same aspect ratio as the Hasselblad XPan. Hasselblad XPan is very expensive, and you can risk that you can't get it repaired if it fails, so you might end up with a very expensive doorstopper. And look at the lenses also, the 30mm lens, how much it costs alone. They are very expensive. Both cameras and lenses are very expensive. Compare that to what you can get the Hasselblad X1d for. That's not very expensive. Look at this one, a Hasselblad X1d with a 45mm lens. It's an awesome compact lens. But the house alone here, very inexpensive. I know that if you want to use adapter lenses, you have to buy an adapter, of course, but that's not very expensive. And then you can get very cheap lenses. The Nikon lens I showed you, my 24mm, I got for like 40 euro. So very inexpensive to get into that. Previously, for my film option, I used this camera, the Fujica GL690, which is a 6x9 camera, an old 6x9 camera with exchangeable lenses. And this one I used with an adapter. I used 35mm film inside it, so I could take in an aspect ratio that was actually longer than the XPan aspect ratio. I'll make a separate video about how I converted this and how I use it with the adapters, but for now just know that there is a film option and it's not very expensive. But back to the Hasselblad. I use this Hasselblad to shoot panoramic, and I do it in the XPan setting in the profiles in this camera. It's very easy to set one of the custom modes to your XPan setting, so that you actually, when you are holding the camera to your eye, you can pop this up. It is locked when it's down, and then you can change it, and now it's in XPan mode, and I can shoot the same image that I just recently shot in XPan mode. But why should I do that? I crop a lot away, you would say. Yes, that's because you'll see the image in XPan mode, and you will compose your image in XPan mode, and that's what I like. So now, when I use this camera to shoot panoramic, I can of course use the Hasselblad lenses. But why should I constrict myself to that when I can use some very awesome vintage lenses? This is a Nikon 24mm, and this lens has some vignetting if you shoot it in the normal Hasselblad X1d or X1d Mark II mode. It has some vignetting, but when you shoot in XPan mode, those corners that the vignette, they are cut away. So actually this lens, 24mm, will give you a very wide field of view on the XPan, in the XPan mode on the Hasselblad. But I can go even more crazy than that. I can take a zoom lens like this Canon lens, and I have an electronic adapter so I can control the aperture as well. And this lens goes from 17 to 40mm. So using this lens, I get a very wide field of view on my Hasselblad. So let's go and do some images and see what we can do with these lenses. The Hasselblad original lenses, the Nikon, and this one. You could also use a telephoto lens, of course, but that's not my style of photographing panoramic. So let's go and have a look at what we can do. So I hope you like my little video here about shooting panoramic in the XPan mode and avoiding to buy the expensive Hasselblad XPan, which by the way probably can't be repaired anymore, so you might end up with a very expensive doorstop. So I shot with the Nikon and I shot with my Canon zoom lens, wide angle zoom lens, and I shot with the Hasselblad 28mm on the Hasselblad X1d and X1d Mark II. You can do this, and you can also do it on the more expensive X2d, but then we're in a territory where it's much more expensive than buying the original Hasselblad XPan. This one you can actually get for cheaper than the Hasselblad XPan. So please subscribe to my channel and also give this video a like so others can find this information. Thank you very much for this time, and bye for now.